What is up, beautiful friends and book lovers? I am coming at you today with a video that I think, or really that I would hope, would just be appreciated in this time because we're all still stuck at home. The quarantine is still going on, and that has really got me thinking. I feel like there's a hair on my face. And that has really got me thinking just really about my favorite self-help books. And I just chatted with my good friend Taylor, who has a blog. I'm gonna put it in my description below. It's called The Shadows and the Sunshine. She is actually one of my friends from elementary school. We've known each other since we were wee little nuggets. And she has an awesome blog where she just talks about pretty much everything going on in her life. And she's so open and honest, and it's just such a joy to read. And we actually were talking about how it would be so awesome. Sorry, my puppy Finn's laying right there. He looks so cute. So cool to talk about self-help books, and she knows I love reading. She knows about my YouTube channel, so we decided to do a little bit of a collaboration. So if you want to see her blog post and her other posts in general, I'm going to put that in the description below. I will also leave her Instagram below as well. In the blog post, I talked about my 3 favorite self-help books. So I'm going to do the same thing here today. I love self-help books. I usually like to listen to them on audiobook because I don't know about you guys, but I hate when it's silent. Like, I cannot have any noise. I don't know if it's because I'm a teacher and like my classroom's always loud. I don't know. I need to have something going all the time. And if I'm not in the mood for a thriller, which usually I am, but if I'm not, I'd rather have a self-help book playing in the background because I love learning in general. Like, I always just love learning new things. And yeah, self-help has always been something that's just really interests me. Okay, so my first book that I'm gonna talk about is my all-time favorite book. And I don't actually think I've ever talked about this on my channel before. So this is a little, wow, I feel kind of vulnerable right now, but that's okay because I love you guys. So when I was 19, I was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder, and it has gotten I'm now 26, so it has gotten so much better over the years. I have one book that I have to thank for that, I feel. And it was a book that was recommended to me at a time where I was experiencing a lot of anxiety, constant like panic attacks, and yeah, so I'm just gonna tell you the book. The book is Feeling Good. I think then I don't have my physical copy, but A New Mood Therapy, I wanna say, and it is written by Dr. David Burns. This book I would recommend to literally everyone. Even if you're not suffering from anxiety or you're not suffering from panic, this book is amazing because it deals with informing and educating the reader about cognitive distortions. And I don't know about you guys, you may be 19 now while you're watching this, you may be younger, you may be my age, you may be older than me. But I'm gonna tell you something, when I was 19, I don't even think I knew what a cognitive distortion was, honestly. I had no idea. But what I did know and what I did recognize about myself was that I was constantly stuck in negative thinking patterns. And I didn't know really how to help myself. And this book goes over all of the cognitive distortions and different ways and reasons as to how negative thinking patterns start, why they start, how to help stop those. And this book also has a ton of like self-help quizzes too, which, you guys, honestly, the book is so versatile. It is like my self-help Bible. That's what I told Taylor, and she put that in the blog, and I loved that. It literally is my self-help Bible. I have had this book like 7 or 8 years now, and I refer back to it all the time. Now, it is versatile. There's different parts. There's like a huge part on depression too, which I personally, I read the whole book because I was fascinated, but for me, I was dealing more with like anxiety and panic. So like I still will refer back to those sections of the book to just kind of give myself a refresh, because it goes over different thinking patterns, like all or nothing thinking, or fortune teller error, which is like when you're pretty much like, oh, well, what if this happens? And it's almost like you're seeing the future in a bad way for yourself. And it's just stuff like that, you guys, where I was so enlightened when I read this book, and I was like, wow, I'm actually a victim to a lot of these. Like, once I realized the cognitive distortions that I personally had going through my head a lot, I was able to put the kibosh on those, and it curbed my anxiety so much. And like, this book is just amazing. It's so amazing, you guys. It's so amazing. I'm gonna put the links for you in the description below. I have recommended this book to like all of my close girlfriends. If you girls are watching this right now, I hope that you're smiling, because I sing this book's praises to everybody. This video would be like 45 minutes if I told you everything that I love about the book, but it has quizzes that you can do. I just like ended up typing them out on my own, but I'm sure if you like get the ebook or something, you could probably like download a PDF. I don't know, but you see your progress. Like if you do the quizzes and everything, and like no one's gonna see your quizzes anyways. So if you just are like open and honest about it, and I don't know. Like I said, I love learning. And once I learned about like what was actually happening to me and how my thoughts affected my feelings and impacted, my day-to-day life, I was able to turn it around for the better. Alrighty, so my second favorite self-help book is one that I have discovered recently in 2019, but it's been around for a little bit, I think. And I do want to go ahead and say that it has a huge religious undertone, which I did not know when I was recommended the book, but I am someone that can like put that past me if it means that like the content's gonna help. Not saying that like it's bad or anything by any means, but I do know that like if you're not someone that's super religious, that may be a little bit of a turnoff for you. For me, it was fine. I was able to just like put it past me, but I just wanted to say that in case you end up purchasing the book for yourself. But my second book that I absolutely love is Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. Again, I don't own any of these physical. Well, actually, no, I own Feeling Good physical copy, but this one is on my Amazon Audible. Boundaries. Where do I start? Also, my hands are so dry. Where do I start with boundaries? Went into this video not knowing how personal I was gonna get, but here we are. So boundaries are something that I personally have struggled with. And I was recommended this book because this boundaries book goes over how to set, establish, and really just stick to your boundaries literally in all areas of your life. In your relationships, in your friendships, in your family relationships, with your coworkers. Like literally I benefited from this book so much because it goes over different personality types and how you can set boundaries with certain types of people. I personally went through a phase in my life where I feel like I didn't really know what boundaries were. I didn't really know like how to set them and establish them fully. And I was recommended this book and I absolutely loved it. I mean, I feel like even in my really strong, healthy relationships, I feel like they've even gotten better because of this book, because I feel like this book has such a subtle art to it that tells you like how and when you need to set boundaries for yourself and in your certain relationships. And guys, it's really good. It's such a good listen. And like, I'm really happy that I have it on Amazon Audible, because if I ever come across a time where I feel like I could benefit from setting boundaries with a certain someone in my life, I always just refer back to this book and I love it. Alrighty, so my third and final book is Hold Me Tight by Sue Johnson. I saw this book on my Instagram and I was like, what is this? Is this like for couples therapy? Like, what is this? Why is this like what is this? And the person's caption was like, no, don't keep scrolling. It's not for like couples who need therapy or anything. It's literally a vulnerable book. Sorry, there's like, I'm pretty sure a massive bug on the floor. And like, now that I've spotted it, I'm gonna have to clean it up. So this book, when I was reading the caption, it told me that it was about, you get a really vulnerable look into, I believe, seven different couples' lives. And the book is all about patterns. So it's like recommended for people in relationships, people that just got out of a relationship, people that want to know more about what a super healthy relationship entails. And I was like, like, what do you mean a vulnerable peak? Like, what is it going to be about? It piqued my interest. I read it and I was like, holy smokes, this is actually so good. So the book is about, you get to look at these 7 different couples. And then the book talks about how no matter, like even in friendships, relationships, and it kind of reminded me of the Boundaries book a little bit, because this book can be applied to anywhere in your life. You get a vulnerable look at different couples, and then like their patterns. So when one person does one thing, another person reacts the other, and then this is like the outcome. And in this case, the outcomes were not good. And then, it talked about like, if you have a pattern like this with someone, how you can like shape it so it doesn't happen anymore. I just thought it was really interesting. I mean, I loved the vulnerable aspect of the book, but also like I never really viewed my friendships and relationships with people as like patterns before. And once I was like educated and enlightened on that fact, I was like, wow, this actually is like such a good metaphor and like way to look at it. I don't know if metaphor is the right term, probably not. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. And when I was talking with Taylor about it, I was like, I feel that I could really relate to this person's caption, because like I normally like wouldn't pick up a book if it was like geared towards relationships, because I don't like need to or I want to read that. But it's definitely more like if you want to take a peek at recognizing patterns and how to shape them. And I think it's great. Like it talks a lot about like how you can curb arguments and things like that. And I don't know, you guys, I really enjoyed it. So yes, I hope you enjoyed. Those are my 3 top favorite self-help books. I have read a couple more. So if you like this video and you're interested to hear about other books that I've read, I would be happy to make a follow-up video with this. I am currently listening. I just bought another one. Again, it has a huge religious undertone. Not sure how I skipped that. Like I said, it does not bother me, but I was like, oh, okay. I'm blanking. It's like, oh, what's the title? I'll just put a picture of it here because it's on my phone and I'm filming on my phone. So yeah, but it's pretty good. It focuses more on like stopping toxic thoughts and how to gear your thoughts more towards like positive. It sounded similar to Feeling Good, my favorite book, and it is way different. This girl's coming from more of like not a doctor or psychologist or psychiatrist standpoint, but more so like a personal one. She's just like a self-help advocate. I shouldn't say she's just like she is an amazing self-help advocate and public speaker. But when I personally am learning about like cognitive therapy, I would prefer for it to be from like a doctor or medical standpoint, but that is just a personal preference. Do not let it stop you from reading it. I am enjoying it. It's only like 5 or 6 hours long, audiobook. So I was like, whoa, this is short. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my favorite self-help books. Thank you for letting me be so vulnerable with you. I don't think I've ever touched on my anxiety piece before on my channel, but if you would like me to do a video too, like explaining more about like what my anxiety used to look like and how I curbed it, I'd be happy to do that as well. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like book reviews and you like thrillers, you're at the right place. Hit that subscribe button, please, so we can chat in future videos. All right, bye friends.